Do not purchase a property, especially in the environment that we have right now, with interest rate being very high and home prices fluctuating. Why do our parents and older relatives always tell us to grow up, get a job, save some money, and buy a property? This is because it worked for them 50 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe even 10. But in the last 5 years or so and going forward, it's not an easy game anymore. The reason is because house prices have gone up. So now it's very expensive to even get in. There's a lot of problems that come with purchasing a home. So let's dissect this through different layers. The reasons why I think it's not a good idea to buy a property. First of all, when times are good, like I said, our parents' age or grandparents, they bought homes and it went up. So they made a profit, usually double or even triple the amount they put down for the homes. And also, when interest rate environments were low, like 15, 20 years ago, it was sitting around 3%, maybe 4% at most to get a mortgage for your property. At those times, it's easy to manage, but now it's going up to 6, 7% is normal. If you're lucky and you get a low one, maybe 4.5% or 5%. But still, that's very high because you also have to consider the amount that you're borrowing from the bank. And if you're going for a B lender, which is not the big financial institutions like BMO or TD, then the rates could be even higher, sitting around perhaps 8%. This also depends on your own credit score and how much money you put for down payment and which B lender you're dealing with. If you have two people earning a good income over 100,000, perhaps then it's okay. But then you have other costs as well to factor in, like raising children, for your car payments and insurance, a ton of different bills you have to worry about. In Canada, the cost of living is extremely high, so we can make a video on that if you guys are interested in another video discussing the cost of living here in Toronto, Canada, which is one of the most expensive in the world, not just in this country. So going back to the main topic, which is now the payments is too high if you're looking to service it with your own income, or even if you rent it out and try to make some money from the renters to pay it. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't work as well as you think. Let's say you purchase a property for $1 million Canadian and you put down $200,000. So you borrow $800,000 from the bank. Now you're trying to service that by paying it back every month. However, let's say that the house prices have gone down. You're thinking that instead of paying rent, you're paying into your own pocket because you have your own property. But if the house prices plunges by even 10%, your home now is worth only $900,000. So essentially, the $200,000 payment that you put in there, you only have $100,000 left. So why don't you take that money and go rent a property? Renting has so many advantages. First of all, you can avoid all the maintenance. If there's anything that happens to the home, you can get the owner to help you fix it up. Let's say they don't want to fork up the money to fix something and you get into a disagreement. Well, you can move to a new property. You know, the richest men in the world worth billions of dollars, they don't even own any property or land. Like that guy that owned Telegram, Durov, and also Elon Musk. These people have so much money, yet they don't buy a portfolio of land and property and condos. You have to think about why. They could own easily $10 or $20 million mansions. But it ties you down to a physical location, first of all. You cannot move around. You lose the freedom to go wherever you want, anytime that you want. So if you have money and you have a stable job, renting a property is actually quite easy. Sure, it'll cost you $2,000 or $3,000 a month, but think about the scenario I just told you. When house prices go down, you lost $100,000 or $200,000 just like that within a year or two. And also think about all the money you're paying into the interest of that property. Now let's say you're sitting on a variable interest rate. Some of your money go into your property, which is your money, the principal payment, some go in interest. But if the variable interest rate goes up, the monthly payment you're paying, you think that you're paying off the principal, but actually it's only going to interest. So you're not really saving any money at all. Now the next issue is if you're buying this brand new from a builder, let's say in good times when the condo go up in price, and then comes the time you just basically service the mortgage and take your property from the builder. However, in times when the prices are fluctuating, interest rates are going up, it can be very messy. I just watched the news. This couple put down $80,000 to get a condo, and then the same thing happened to their builder where they went bankrupt, and they gave it to another builder to take over. Now the standard is no longer what they wanted. They're building it kind of half, professional. It's not really exactly what they want in terms of safety and convenience. So everything is kind of open. There's a lot of concrete and it's dusty. It's not ready to move in. However, because they want to meet the deadline, they just kind of made it just barely good enough for you to move in. And this couple want to pull out and get the deposit back, but they can no longer do it. They're basically stuck in that. So their money is stuck in there for years, from the day they purchased to the day now they're trying to move in. And they lost opportunity to move somewhere else because now they're stuck to this property. And then house prices went down. They purchased it for $500,000. Now it's only worth $400,000. So they can't even sell it to make a profit. They basically lost more than the deposit they put in, which is $100,000. They put a deposit of $80,000. So basically all their saving is gone and they're stuck to this home. They have to service the mortgage at a high interest rate because compared to 3 years ago, interest rate now has went up. So they're in a pickle situation, and the builder, of course, want the person to be stuck with the condo unit because they don't want to be stuck with it because they cannot sell it for the $500,000 that they originally had it for, or they cannot sell it for more. So now they don't want to take that loss, and also the work of actually listing and selling that property. So in the end, the people that really benefit from this transaction is, number one, the lawyers, because everything needs lawyer. They need to close the property for you, the paperwork and stuff. They make a few $1,000s. And if things get messy, you go to court, they make even more money. Secondly are the agents. Of course, they're listing it, they're selling it, then they're going to make some money off the transaction. And thirdly is the tax. So you're paying the tax when you're buying and selling. The person that has a lot of risk is you, because you're purchasing it. Now you're hoping that interest rate will go down and house prices will go up. And you're hoping that the standard of the building or the home you're purchasing will be good. In times when everything is rising in prices, then the condo builder has a hard time to secure all the material to actually build that condo, and also the manpower to get it up. So then they may skim on the quality of your condo. In the case of the news article I told you about, this couple, they're expecting a baby. So the mother now has a baby in her stomach for 8-9 months. She doesn't want to live in a place where it's half done and there's open concrete and it can be dusty, people moving in and out. She don't want her baby and herself just giving birth to be living in a place like that for a couple of years. So there's a lot of risk for you as the buyer when you're trying to take over this home. Another obstacle that can show up is that the builder doesn't complete the project on time. Now in this scenario, they're going to try to push you forward. So the years that you had your deposit in the hands of the builder, you could be doing something else with it. It's called opportunity cost, because there's something called inflation, right? It's the depreciation of your cash. You could have used that to open a business or buy something else, like an asset that can go up, like gold or stocks or Bitcoin or something like that. You could be investing it and get some return. But now it's sitting in the hands of the builder for years, and let's say they don't complete on time and you have to wait a few more years to get your property. But your money is not earning anything. You want it back. So now they're going to come up with different reasons to get you to jump through more hoops to get your money back. So let's just say it's a very difficult situation. If you're buying homes a long time ago when it was so cheap, and then a few years later it get completed, and then the home prices went up, everyone is happy. You, builder, lawyer, agent, the tax people, everyone is in a good mood. However, in this type of environment we're in right now, it can be extremely difficult. So what do you guys think? Have you any experience with buying homes, especially a new one from builder? Have you been stuck in this kind of contract that I'm discussing? Please share your experience so everyone can learn. And how do you get out of those circumstances when you're with a builder and they're not delivering on time and they want to keep your deposit and they're giving you trouble? Share your experience below so the community can learn and overcome these type of challenges. And will you buy a home in these conditions? Give your comments below and your advice on this topic. And if there's enough value, I will create another video to update you, to give you more idea, tips and tricks about buying home properties, especially here in Toronto, Canada. Thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more value videos. Click like and share this to someone who you think can get some value out of it. See you guys on the next one, and have a good one.